Good evening, football fans, soccer fans, worldwide, but mostly in the USA. Because Bobby Cardenas coming at you from Lancaster, California, here in the good old USA. Okay, Saturday evening, we just started back up all of European league play because last week, or part of past 2 weeks actually, we had international friendlies and Euro qualifiers going on. So now, today, Barclays Premier League started back up again, and so did La Liga with Real Madrid. Quickly to La Liga. Real Madrid goes to Levante in Valencia, wins 5-0. Ronaldo scores on a PK and a kick or play goal from run of play rather. James Rodriguez scores a goal. Isco scores a goal, and very importantly, Chicharito Hernandez, Mexican player, came to Real Madrid also, scored a brilliant goal. He's a true striker. When he was at Man U, believe it or not, he had one of the highest percentages of goals per minutes played of any striker in the Barclays Premier League, and he would come onto the pitch as a sub most of the time for Man U. Anyway, let's hope his career with Real Madrid, goes sky high from this point on. So anyway, Real Madrid wins. Barcelona also won 3-0 against Eibar. Eibar is that little team that could, the little train that could, newly promoted this season to La Liga. They're the team that I talked about in various posts before. Specifically, though, that they come from a town that has only 27,000 people living in it. Their stadium only holds 5,900. And unfortunately, they're under a little bit of pressure because they have to upgrade their seating capacity next season if they remain in La Liga, they don't get relegated, to at least 12,000 people or face some sanctions from La Liga. For crying out loud, this is a small club, although they did receive funds now that they were promoted. But still, they've got to build it up. Give them some time, please. Hopefully they get everything straightened out. They continue in La Liga, and let's root for the small guys, right? I like to root for the underdog a lot. Okay, so that takes care of La Liga. There are a few other games, but those are the two most important games. Serie A, we'll get to. Juventus drew 1-1, Roma won. Okay, but let's get to the Premier League. The first game this morning was Man City versus Tottenham, and Man City wins 4-1. And Sergio Aguero, brilliant striker from Argentina, scores all 4 goals. He's a great striker. I like Aguero. I've always liked him. Great player. But he's playing with great people up there. David Silva, Yaya Toure. Although Yaya Toure wasn't in the game today. I think he was probably being rested from the Ivory Coast. Is he going to? No, he's not playing international anymore. Oh, that's right. He's nursing an injury. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Because the African nations were also doing their qualifying their cup. Anyway, I got that confused. Okay, let's go down the line. So, Chelsea. Okay, Arsenal 2-2. Hull City comes into Arsenal's, the Emirates, and is ahead 2-1 until stoppage time. The game is about to end, and Arsenal pulls out a tying goal, 2-2. They needed to do that. But Hull City, kudos to them. They're a good team. They're an up-and-coming team. Okay, Everton beats Aston Villa 3-0. Southampton. Okay. Southampton beats Sunderland at home 8-0. And at the end of the game's about to approach the 90th minute, right? The referee decides to add 3 minutes stoppage time. Let me point something out to you because I'm a referee. Yes, stoppage time should be added so that the players actually play the allotted time they're supposed to play. But a referee also has the option not to add stoppage time or to add less stoppage time. And in this case, with the game 8-0, why add stoppage time at all? All you're doing is possibly having an injury occur, having a player become frustrated and do something maybe he shouldn't do. The game's over. It's 8-0. Don't add any extra time, for crying out loud. Okay? All right. My refereeing point of view. Here's another refereeing point of view that has to do with the Chelsea Crystal Palace game. Okay, the game is going on. I believe the game was 1-1 at the time or 1-0 Chelsea. Oofa, I have to go back and look. But this is the important part. Chelsea player, Spanish Azpilicueta, for the Spanish team, plays for Chelsea, goes in two-footed, sliding straight at one of the Crystal Palace players, and right in front of the referee too. Boom! He fouls him, clips him with his right, with the cleats exposed. Hits the player. Player goes over. Red card, straight red card. He's out. Okay. Game continues. Crystal Palace player Delaney, who had been cautioned earlier in the game for being stupid and telling the referee not to talk to him after he had committed a foul, and the referee said, "Sabes, not only will I talk to you, but I'll show you a caution." So he did that. Okay, so now, after Azpilicueta's red card, the game continues, and Chelsea wins 2-1. Delaney decides to hold Remy from Chelsea in the middle of the field as he's trying to get by him. So he holds him, boom, Remy falls down. That's called misconduct. It's a foul, it's holding. Referee, yellow card, then a red card. Boom, he's gone. Okay, my point is this. beIN Sports, which is a show that I watch on the beIN Sport Network, beIN Sports, the Express Extra, actually. Express Extra Weekends, because it's a weekend. There's a commentator named Ian Joy, who I enjoy. Look at Ian Joy, and I enjoy. You like that? He didn't. Okay. He's a good commentator. He's a player, right? Scottish descent, born here in the USA, though, and he still has a Scottish accent. How that happens, I have no idea. He said something that really, really irked me as a referee. He's talking about the Chelsea Crystal Palace game. They're showing the highlights. He with Kay Murray. Ray Hudson wasn't in today, but he's also there. George Michaelis, I forget how his last name is pronounced. Anyway, so Ian Joy talks about, and he says they first show the Azpilicueta red card. He shows it. Then when Delaney gets a second caution and a red card, this is what Ian Joy says about the play. He goes, that Delaney shouldn't have done that knowing that he's on a yellow card because the referee is looking to produce another red card to even up the match. Really? You think referees think that way, that if they do something to one team, they must do it to another team to even out the match? No, Ian Joy. That's not what referees do. That's not what referees should do. Referees officiate matches based on what the players do determines what the referee's actions must be pertaining to calling fouls or not calling fouls, issuing cards or not issuing cards. The referee does it based on the play. He should never take into account that he's controlling the match. Referees don't control the match. That's the other pet peeve I have with announcers when they say referees are controlling the match. No, they don't. Players control the match. Managers control the match. referees officiate the match. Okay, I've gone on long enough. This is it. But I had to say my piece. Tomorrow, more games. I'll come back. So, in the meantime, say no to racism. And go USA.